Hello, everyone. Today is Thursday, August 21st, 2025. Gym date for Friday, 22nd. All right, let's go. Well, as far as official setups, there are none again tonight. Let's stick with this ETHE as an honorable mention if you feel like you need to do something. We'll go through these in just 1 second. Or the Landry list. It's just nothing I feel like I would be angry if I didn't take. In other words, I don't have any FOMO, fear of missing out on these. And usually I have to get excited about a setup, and I'm just not getting super excited about these tonight. They look okay, don't get me wrong. They're just not exciting just yet. So I kind of want to see what the next round of setups looks like, whether that's tomorrow, the next day, or sometimes next week. But we should see plenty of setups, so don't worry about that. As far as a portfolio, not a bad day overall. Go ahead and bump your stop a little bit on the KGC. We're going to go to, or we're going to remain in longer term trend following mode where we slowly open it up and let it give it more and more wiggle room. Anyway, we'll take a look at the portfolio in 1 second. Here's the Ethereum. Still looks pretty good. Wait for an entry on that one should you decide to go after it. Again, there's quite a few stocks in here tonight. It's just nothing I feel like I would really be upset if I didn't take it. And it's kind of one of my litmus tests I go through. Katos, by the way, is set up again. So we're already along that one, and that one does look pretty good. So FYI, this NP looks okay, but again, let's just see what the database provides over the next few days to a week or so. But anyway, this is what I'm seeing out there, and some of these might shape up to become potential setups soon. But for now, let's just sit on our hands a little bit, let things shake out a little. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and trading is a lot of waiting for those opportunities. Anyway, ABC, a little bit of a bounce, better than a poke in the eye. Obviously, out of your stops just in case. I'd like to see it get back above that 30 and beyond. KGC, bam, winning, close at all-time high, so that's certainly a good thing. So far, so good there. Katos attempted to rally out of a pullback. Looks pretty good so far. I'd like to see it obviously go on the new highs, but hey, one day at a time. TFPM, not a bad day there. Looks like it's trying to go back to its old highs. At TJ, a little bit of a bounce. At least it's back above the 30. Just kind of hanging in there. Longer term, it still looks okay, though. It looks like a pullback at a pretty hot IPO. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a little bit. First of all, S&P 500, inside day, finding a little support once again at the 30. Yeah, down a little bit on the day, but let's not get too excited just yet. Market's just taking a little bit of a breather so far, but obviously check back off. The NASDAQ Composite, same sort of action there too, kind of a little bit kind of Flatsville after all was said and done based on the open and all. And again, narrow range trading, just kind of chopping around while the market is trying to find its way. Russell 2000, though, actually had an okay day, better than a poke in the eye after a little weakness coming back. And it's holding above that 30 EMA. It looks like it still has potential to go on to make some new highs versus both marginal and otherwise. Bitcoin still looking toppy in here, as you can see. Beginning to hit some new lows. We could see a bow tie to the downside here fairly soon. A little support below. If that gets taken out, it could be of concern. We'll obviously keep an eye on that situation. Gold, the commodity, continues to chop sideways right around that 30 EMA, which is in the middle of its range. Gold stocks, so look at that. Continue to bang out new highs on a little bit of vigor. So that's kind of interesting. Biotechnology, okay day, all things considered, up a smidge. And just right below this overhead supply, which is below lots and lots of other overhead supply. However, on an individual issue basis, I am still seeing quite a bit of momentum there. I think there's, I forget if it's 14 or 18 of them are in the Landry 100. I'll get that list out tomorrow in Facebook and elsewhere. Take a look at semiconductors. Down a little. They've lost some steam as of late. So far, still a longer-term uptrend. But if they take out these recent lows, then I'd become a little bit more concerned. But I sure would like to see them make some new highs sooner rather than later. Robotics and AI kind of hanging in there, down towards that 30 EMA. I know I've said 30 EMA a lot tonight. That's a bit of an inflection point for now. Pot stocks, not a bad day there, trying to rally out of this pullback. So that's sort of interesting. So far, this melt up remains intact. Some areas like uranium still look questionable, bouncing a little today, but looks like the top remains in place there. Metals overall still look okay, bouncing off that 30 EMA. So far, so good there. I think that's pretty much it. Some areas, again, Not as great as others like cybercomputing. Looks like they could have topped out in here, but other areas are hanging in there. And for the most part, looking pretty good. Defense hanging in there, kind of going sideways. But some of these areas that are sideways, I'm not too concerned about that just yet. They might just be catching their breath, building that base before they launch into space. I think that's pretty much it for now. Everybody have a great night. If you have any questions, do the routine. Thank you so much.